Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all in the class of the chapter Indian Economy from 1950 to 1990. In the previous videos, I have already covered the topic economic planning, goals of 5-year plans, agriculture, and critical appraisal of agriculture during 1950 to 1990. I have also covered industrial development and critical appraisal of industrial development during 1950 to 1990 in the previous videos, and in this video I am going to cover the topic foreign trade. Foreign trade is exchange of goods and services across international borders or territories. Every country gains from its foreign trade. We have also studied about foreign trade in the chapter Indian Economy on the Eve of Independence. In that chapter, we have studied that at the time of independence, India was an exporter of primary products such as cotton, jute, indigo, raw silk, wool, and an importer of consumer goods like cotton, silk, and woolen clothes and machinery. Britain had a complete control over India's foreign trade. Its share in our country's foreign trade was about 50%. The most important features of India's foreign trade during colonial period was the generation of export surplus, as our exports exceeded our imports. But this export surplus did not result in any flow of gold or silver into India. Rather, this was used to make payments for expenses incurred by an office set up by colonial government in Britain. And this export surplus was also used by Britain government in incurring expenditure on war fought by the Britain government. Now let us discuss about India's foreign trade after independence. That means, what was the foreign trade during 1950 to 1990? I have already told you that foreign trade is exchange of goods and services across international borders or territories. In the first 7 5-year plans, trade was characterized by what is commonly called an inward-looking trade strategy. This was also known as import substitution. This policy aimed at replacing or substituting imports with domestic production. For example, instead of importing vehicles made in a foreign country, industries would be encouraged to produce them in India itself. In this policy, the government protected the domestic industries from foreign competition. Let us discuss about features of India's foreign trade during 1950 to 1990. First is volume and value of foreign trade. Volume refers to the size of imports and exports by a nation. There was a substantial increase in India's foreign trade. Imports were increasing faster than exports. Imports were required to meet the growing needs from the process of industrialization, but we could not find sufficient exportable surplus that we could find during colonial period. As a result, during the period 1950 to 1990, that was the planning period, the country had always been faced the problem of trade deficit. The second feature of foreign trade during 1950 to 1990 was composition of foreign trade. Composition of trade refers to the type of goods that are exported and imported by a country. During 1950 to 1990, the share of manufactures in countries' export increased from 45% to 73%, but the share of agricultural and allied products declined from 44% to 19% during 1950 to 1990. The third feature of foreign trade was direction of foreign trade. Direction of trade indicates the countries with which a country trades. It indicates the destination where a country's exports go and also points of origin from where a country's import come. So simply we can say with which country India is exporting the goods and services and to whom India is importing the goods and services. After independence, our trade relations became diversified and India adopted heavy industry led growth strategy during our 5-year plans. In 1950 to 51, USSR and East Europe did not appear in our export or import basket. But in 1990, almost 25% of India's foreign trade was with USSR and East Europe. India also expanded its trade contacts with other developed countries of the world, especially with the United States of America and West Europe. At present, India had very good trade relations with Singapore, Mauritius, Japan, and United States of America. Let us now discuss about the foreign trade policy that India adopted after independence. That was the period from 1950 to 1990. I have already told you in the introduction that government protected the domestic industries from foreign competition during 1950 to 1990. This protection took place in the form of tariffs and quotas. Tariff refers to the taxes on the imported goods. They make imports costlier. Quotas refer to the maximizing quantity of goods that can be imported. Both tariff and quotas restrict imports and hence protect the domestic producers from foreign competition. Let us now discuss about these two policies that government adopted under foreign trade. First was policy of import substitution. India adopted import substitution policy for a large part during 1950 to 1990. Import substitution means the strategy of replacing imports by domestic production, and under this policy, imports were restricted for encouraging domestic production. And we can say that domestic industries were protected against foreign competition through tariffs and quotas. Again, this policy was also called as inward-looking trade strategy. The second policy which government adopted under foreign trade was protection of domestic industries. The policy of protection is based on the idea that industries of developing countries like India are not in position to compete against the goods produced by developed countries. With protection, they will be able to compete in the due course of time. And our planners also feared the possibility of foreign exchange being spent or eroded on imports of luxury goods if no restriction imposed on the imports of luxury goods. So this was the foreign trade policy during 1950 to 1990. Now let us discuss about import substitution in detail. In order to be self-reliant in vital sectors, India has followed the strategy of replacing many imports by domestic production. The other name for import substitution policy was inward-looking trade strategy. And in the first 7 5-year plans, trade was characterized by inward-looking trades. The policy of import substitution can serve the two objectives. First is saving of precious foreign exchange, that I've told you that our planners also have feared of eroding foreign exchange due to imports of luxury items. Second objective that fulfilled due to this policy of import substitution was achieving self-reliance. You must have all heard about the Atmanirbhar Bharat that our Honorable Prime Minister have launched recently. So you can imagine that this self-reliant India is not a new concept for us. Self-reliance was also the one of the objective in our 5-year planning, and here the policy of import substitution was fulfilling the objective of self-reliance. Now let us discuss what was the reason behind for adopting import substitution policy. The policy of protection is based on the notion that industries of developing countries like in India are not in a position to compete against the goods produced by more developed countries. That I've already told you that developing countries were not producing the competitive goods in the which could be sold in the international market. So India adopted the policy of import substitution just to protect the domestic producers and to encourage people to consume more and more domestically produced goods and services. Restriction on imports was necessary as there was a risk of drain of foreign exchange reserve on the import of luxury goods. By adopting import substitution policy, the government preferred to save foreign exchange. Although foreign exchange could also be earned through export promotion, but government opted the policy of import substitution. This policy of import substitution has also some negative impact. Due to the restriction on imports, the Indian consumer had to purchase whatever the Indian producers produced. The producers were aware that they had a captive market, so they had no incentive to improve the quality of their goods. So they didn't think of improving the quality of their goods when they could sell low quality goods at higher prices. So there was no competition which could encourage the domestic producers to improve quality of their goods. So this was all about the condition of foreign trade during 1950 to 1990 and the policy of foreign trade during 1950 to 1990. Thank you.